Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Crashy, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of different topics. I wanted to consolidate some of my thoughts in recent events, specifically yesterday, into a video today. As you can tell by the title, I want to talk about the competitive Reddit AMA that just happened, and I want to talk about the Fortnite Friday event that just happened. You know, the return of Fortnite Friday, Keemstar's event run by UMG with the funding from FaZe Clan. We're going to go ahead and jump into that. So first and foremost, I really kind of want to briefly touch on the AMA, and I'm going to be bringing up some screenshots so you can kind of see the specifics, the big ones that I really want to talk about. There's just a few of the big ones, and so you can see on the screen now. You know, Reddit user asked, are you guys considering separate loot pool for arena competitive? And they answered, not at the present time. Having the same core battle royale game played by players of all skill levels is healthy for one overall state of the game and keeps competition open, approachable, and for both players and viewers. We aim at one game. However, we occasionally make exceptions, such as Siphon, but our threshold for branching core gameplay is very high, yada, 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 yada. Now, this is concerning. This is concerning because Epic actually has a game that has a community that's so big and so diverse that this game would allow for separate settings, separate rules for competitive and the casual scene, and that's something that a lot of people, specifically myself as well, have been pushing for. Now, so to say, you know, we want to have the same core battle royale game and we aim at one game, it doesn't really work, especially considering that they said we occasionally make exceptions such as Siphon, and Siphon is a massive gameplay change. So the fact that casual games aren't even the same game as the competitive side to begin with is really frustrating to see their stance on not wanting to make better improvements for the competitive side, such as separating the loot pool. If you guys have seen some of my other videos, some of my thoughts on how to save the game, that's, you know, the most recent video I've made. One of my opinions was that we need to get, you know, snuff out the common rarity. We need to get rid of a lot of the bloat items like pistols and additional snipers. And while they did touch on that in the AMA in terms of like the snipers having too many in the game currently, it just seems like they are so focused on keeping the game approachable, and I kind of make air quotes when I say that, and it's just really ridiculous because ultimately, think about it this way: if we had less weapons in the competitive side of the game, but the casual side of the game still had all those weapons and more, does that make the competitive side less approachable, or does that make the casual side less approachable? In my opinion, it makes the casual side less approachable for us because we don't want to go into that game mode with all these extra weapons. But if the casual players decided that they wanted to make a step into the competitive side of the game, well, they wouldn't be coming into a game that has more confusing weapons. They'd be coming into a game that has less weapons and already weapons in the game that they're used to. So I specifically disagree with their stance. I'm obviously going to speak up against it. It makes the game worse for competitive, and whether or not that's better for the game overall is very subjective in my opinion, and it's clear that Epic thinks that it is. So that's their stance on it. Moving on to the next one. All right, Reddit user asks, will we see an FOV reconsideration? Now, this one I've talked about on Twitter already. I'm very impulsive. I'll jump to Twitter with my thoughts. This is their answer. We have no plans to implement an FOV slider. One of our major goals for competitive Fortnite is to support players in their journey to be able to become stars and build their own audiences around awesome performances and personas. Part of that goal means listening to the desires of their viewers and stepping in when necessary. In this case, players were indicating they felt required to play with stretch resolution or increased FOV in order to remain competitive, and fans said that it was a negative experience to watch. This, in my opinion, is another one of Epic coming out with fake statistics and fake studies and fake answers. There's no way that they can prove that they talk to audiences and they talk to viewers of ours and viewers of streamers and just know that you know, increased FOV and stretch resolution was a turnoff for them. Was there a kind of a natural consensus that stretch resolution was ugly? Yes, I played stretch resolution. I thought it was ugly, but the FOV was good. Now, hear me out. Having increased FOV, an FOV slider, and having stretch resolution is not the same. We want increased FOV, therefore the only way to do that was to stretch. We're asking them to build it into the game, something we've already seen through different bugs and different versions of the game is possible, and they're not willing to budge. Now, I kind of resent their position on saying, we need to step in when necessary, when listening to the desires of their viewers. If I have viewers, let's just say I'm the beacon of who they're talking about here. If I have viewers and my viewers don't want to watch me, they simply don't need to watch me. It's not going to kill the game overall, and we're not asking for them to increase the FOV default. We're asking for the option. Now, the only argument I can see them making is for their own Fortnite official broadcast, and even this already has an argument against it because they have a spectator client that they can control the way that it looks on their end. So this statement, this long-winded statement saying that they are not reconsidering an FOV slider, they will not be implementing an FOV slider, is literally a version of Epic saying, we don't want to, stop asking us, we're not going to do it. There's no other way to look at it. There's no good argument they can make. There's no logical explanation, and it's really frustrating to see, again, their stance on something that is obviously desired. It's obviously something that we want. It's obviously something that we think would give us, a better opportunity to do well, or give us at least the option to, customize. And with a slider, it would be available for everybody. It would be an option that everybody could, up or lower or however they want to do it. So really ridiculous. Absolutely. I'm not angry right now, but this is pretty embarrassing for Epic Games and competitive integrity and trying to run an esport. It's just absolutely embarrassing. So I think that's all I'm going to cover mainly from the Reddit AMA. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff in here, like the shotgun pullout delay. They obviously said that like the pump could come back out, and they don't want to get rid of that delay, or they have to think about that, which I think is silly. But that's really not as important as the other two that I talked about. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into Fortnite Friday. Now, Fortnite Friday, lots of big name players. If you didn't watch it, I definitely recommend you go find some of the streams or the clips or whatever you have to find. It's fun. I gotta be honest with you. I liked Fortnite Friday back in the day when it was out, but everybody knew, or at least for me and my little friend circle that was watching it, we knew that it wasn't going to be something that was super serious. It wasn't something that even me specifically, someone that was getting into scrims at the time, was going to take seriously, because it's not people playing against each other in a traditional sense in the way that the game was actually played. It's them playing against each other in a very fast-paced kill race, duo v squads, a little bit of mind games kind of way. But hear me out. No matter how you slice it, it is an entertaining thing to watch. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I've already said that even though there are parts of the games where the gameplay is just not that interesting, because it really is just like bot mopping the lobby and getting a bunch of kills, it's fun watching how the players interact against their opposing duo, and they're in duo v squads, and they have to make these crazy decisions to fly at teams or to chase after their opponents. And it's just interesting how the storylines, and you can see the bracket play, you get to see how the losers bracket develops. It's very intuitive in terms of like how other esports run with tournament brackets and tournament runs. So it's very fun to watch, no matter how you, like I said, no matter how you slice it, it's very entertaining. Now, my only gripe is that I'm just not a huge fan of Keemstar in Fortnite. I'm actually a huge Keemstar fan. I've been watching his content since he was making videos in Halo. So for like 10 plus years, I've actually known Keemstar, probably longer than a lot of people actually knew who he was. But I'm not a fan of Keemstar in Fortnite. I feel like he's got a little bit of a superiority complex, and his opinion is a little heavy-handed. He kind of is like the person that always feels like he's right, and it's just a little frustrating. So I would like to see maybe another third-party company or UMG just or even Epic run Friday Fortnite. I don't know how they would do it, because again, I don't want it to be competitive per se. I don't mind that there are pro players in it. I don't mind that there are, celebrities or people with clout in it. It's cool. I don't really care how it's done. I just personally don't like Keemstar in it. But that said, if he stays on part of it, if he doesn't bring a whole lot of outside drama like Keemstar versus Epic, and him thinking that he's God's gift to Fortnite esports, then I'm totally cool with it. Overall, I just wanted to say, with Fortnite Friday specifically, I enjoyed it. It's something fun. Sometimes the gameplay is a little meh, watching people slay out on bots, but like watching Reverse 2K and Ninja play, it was really exciting. Watching them square up against some really great players was really cool. And I mean, Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage M popping off on 100 plus ping on NA servers. Like, there's so many like little nuances things about it that are really fun to kind of watch unfold. So that's kind of my like roundup video. I wanted to talk about these two current events, mainly the Reddit AMA. I just gotta say it's embarrassing for Epic. I want to end on this note. It's really embarrassing for Epic to see them putting on this massive esport, and when it comes to actually having a competitive game, regardless of the fact that there's a massive casual community out there, if you're going to put a lot of money into it, if you're going to put on this huge production, why not just do it right? And it's simple. There are changes that need to be made for competitive that Epic is just not willing to make. And to me, that's just gross. It's like it's embarrassing for them and their company. But we'll see. Maybe the addition of Nate Nanzer will bring some change, and he can shift the overall culture and mindset within Epic Games. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What did you think about the Reddit AMA? What did you think about Friday Fortnite? If you didn't check it out, definitely go peek it and let me know. So thanks for checking out the video. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake?